Hello and welcome back to Custom Garage. Today we are going to redo this ugly railing. This is what the builder put in place. It's just a bunch of, 1.5 womanized strips screwed to some boards. As you can see over here, we've gone ahead and we've got some layout done. The deck of that was just plank boards, as you can see here. And the steps the same way. We're going to lift this back up or take a saw cut on it. I'm not sure which way I'm going to go yet. And we'll come back at you after we've cut it and lay it back in place as a final finished product. It doesn't require any glue. It interlocks to itself. This is a pretty nice product that we're probably going to end up using throughout the garage on the main floor. So stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. We just want to do a little recap here. The whole idea about this was I wanted to get that freezer up there on the deck, and in order to do it, the railing situation wasn't going to work out. So then I thought, you know what, I'm going to change the railing anyway, so what better time to go ahead and get the decking down and start on the railings. So you can see we did the steps, and there's kind of a little tread here on the edge here. I'm going to point to it that locks in. We're going to put a little bit of adhesive underneath those and clamp them and glue them down. But other than that, the rest of this material here is just floating. It doesn't require any glue. We're going to face off the front of this, trim it off with some metal, and I got a little treat for the bottom. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's going to be a surprise down the road. You have to stay tuned for that, how I'm going to encapsulate the bottom of that and make that storage be hidden. As you can see, we've kind of done a little demo work. What we figured out was, given the fact that we're running these cables, 4.5 inches increments going across this way, what I realized is my end post here is not tall enough. It was 4 inches short of keeping the same angle of projection coming down. So consequently, what would happen is the cables would have looked good up to here, and as they came off to the end, they would look off to the bottom board here. So being 4 inches too short on this pole, rather than ruin all of what I already built, which I can use for a project down the road, I decided to go ahead and just get a couple new posts, reconfigure this, reset my top, and in doing so, we realized that our top board that maybe we wanted to, rather than paint it a solid color, we were going to just go ahead and stain it and see how that works. So we bought a little bit different, like a clear pine, select pine board. We go on top here, and we're going to sand it and stain it, and then cap the top with that rather than being fully painted like we had originally. So this lesson to be learned here, you'll see my sketch that I drew up with this, and I didn't draw it up right away. My fault. Thinking that I could just put this all in my head and make it all work. The other problem I started to realize I was going to have was I needed something all the way to the floor here to build off of to set up my opening for my barn doors that are going to go down here in the bottom with the tracks. And it made more sense just to stop, draw it up, lay it out, figure it out, and make the corrections. So as you can see here today, that's what we're doing. I wouldn't suggest doing this in the future. This is kind of like woodworking 101. You draw up a plan, and then you proceed with that plan. I didn't draw up a plan, and I proceeded, and now I'm redoing it. And that's more painful than just taking the time in the beginning to measure it all up, lay it all out. Do a quick sketch. It doesn't have to be anything real intricate, but you want to make sure that when you get to the end, like I was getting to the end, I realized that these cables were going to be coming down on different angles than they were there. The spacing between them would not be consistent with what we had over here. It would look terrible. I'm not a perfectionist, but I do like things to look right. And they can be a little off and you can get away with it, but an inch or two, that probably would have shown badly, especially when you're coming in through the door and looking at it every day in your vehicle. So we stopped, redone it, and this is where we're at. I'm probably going to do a little time lapse here to speed this up so this doesn't take 2 hours. And I'm going to run with what we've got cut already and show you what we're going to end up with. So I'm going to pause for now and we'll come back with a little time lapse. second staircase build. We've gone a little further here, cut some different pieces that we're gonna need. You can see here, I kind of built this up. I've got the top board off right now. We've got the bottom ones laid out, and we got this kind of framed in, and an idea of how this bottom board here is going to follow the staircase down. We've got a block at the bottom to mount our metal on. And right now, I've taken and cut a square hole in this end and notched that end, and that's going to go up over the staircase. So I'm going to pull the camera back and take a few minutes and show you how hopefully that's going to work. We're going to set that up in place and see how it goes. Set this up. I'm going to screw that down first. And we'll make a different board for here. We're a little bit short. We'll cut a new one for that. And see what we got. I think I'm going to go ahead and get this screwed down. I'm gonna go into a little, speed this up a little bit. And we got these bottom plates all set in place, as you can see. Our cutout here worked out pretty good. I like the fact that it surrounds it now. It doesn't look like we pieced it in. I took away the baseboard over there so the fridge could go over a little bit more. So once the top board goes on, I think we can open the lid. We'll see when we get that far. But I'm gonna go ahead and time lapse this. We'll speed it up a little and we'll set the bottom up, and then we'll come back and talk about that in a little bit. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel. This morning we've kind of done a little bit of rework. A couple things didn't look like they were gonna work out. I had a leg over here that I had set probably right about here. And I realized that I really need to set that post at where the door is going to stop when it's open. So we've went ahead and moved that over. You can see down here on the floor, I've left these 4x4s up off the floor. I spaced them a little bit with about the thickness of the flooring I'm going to be using. So later on I can just slide the flooring up underneath it and keep on going all the way back to the wall. We've gone ahead and put some wood filler in all the cracks, the stuff that's going to get painted, as you can see here. That's a little bit of the barn door tracking set up there. Then over here as well. Now up top, we're going to be using this select pine. Very clean, no knots. Stains up nice, you can see from here. We're going to trim this down, obviously, and bring it down the other, and this will be like the handrail. We'll go ahead and put a nice radius on it. By cutting out that trim board on the back side of the freezer there, it allowed us to move the freezer over to where now when I run this top board, we're going to be able to clear it with the lid. I was thinking I was going to have to notch this to clear it, but because we took this board out down here, it allowed us to move the freezer over just enough to get that lid to clear there. So we're going to come back here in a second. Going to set up the camera in a different position, and we're going to rock and roll here. Stay tuned. We've gone ahead and boxed this in over here. Used some 4x4s, what was left over from the 8-footers. Frame that in. That's going to get closed into right about where my thumb is with galvanized. And then our doors will be from here to here, and from here to here. So there'd be two 18-inch doors, 31 inches long. And then the rest of this, from this point going this way, we'll get just vertical metal. Closing all that in. That'll be it for tonight. We're going to go ahead and probably get this painted up, make it all gray, and then tomorrow we'll be ready to start setting up some metal and our gables, and then our upper fascia board or trim board for the top here. We're going to be going with some pine, and we're thinking along the lines of maybe staining it. We'll see how that comes out. If we don't like the stain, we can always go back and paint it. Stay tuned for some more tomorrow or next time we're up, and thanks for watching.